Well, howdy there, Moose fans. Lone Moose here. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, y'all are surviving the spring and the allergy seasons and the storms and whatnot. We've had quite a few pretty severe thunderstorms here in South Texas the last couple of weeks, but no significant damage for us anyway. Some of you may have seen some of the things that I've posted, either through Facebook or Instagram with some of the leather projects. And I'm going to talk about a new tool that I got here recently and kind of run through a demonstration of it. But it's a VEVOR, V-E-V-O-R, clicker press. I got it through Amazon. I'll put the link down below. And as always with all things in general, I get no remuneration from Amazon, no kickbacks, no nothing, and no discounts. I'm just kind of reviewing the product, if you will, showing you how I go about stamping some things. I'm going to stamp up two projects here, and so you can see how it works with them and how you have to kind of manipulate the press to get everything to work right. And I didn't mean that like manipulating Fox or Fox News manipulating you or whatever. The clicker press, okay? First one that I'm going to do is a coaster that I'm making, a coaster set I'm making for my buddy Sean up in Alaska. That's his channel, Sean in Alaska, and he's building his new cabin. He's moved into it already. So it's kind of a housewarming gift. And then hopefully you saw the other holsters video that I posted where I made the holsters for my buddy Dan. Well, his son Andy is also a veteran and actually works for the same company I do right now. And they both love shooting and handguns, so I told Andy that I would make him a holster. So I'm going to go through the stamping process on that. I'll show you these two. The other thing I'm going to do in this video, and that's this little jewel right here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is it's pretty out of focus, and I don't help matters any. There, now maybe you can see it. It's a little 1-inch acrylic stamp that I had made for the state of Alaska. And this portion of it right here, the Aleutian Islands chain, broke off on me because I didn't have the thing set right on the press, and so I've crazy glued it back together, and I'm going to give that a try and see how that works. Hopefully it's repaired, as otherwise I might have to order a new one, and that'll take me 2 or 3 weeks to get. And it's no fault of the people who made these stamps. I order them from a company that does business off Etsy. I think there are things called We Dig Gold out of Nevada. Nice people. They've made some custom stamps for me. They've also had them make the big one for me for Alaska. And this is the one, if I can get me out of the picture there, now you can see. This is the one I'm going to use on the coasters. The other things that I use, these are, all of them I've got came from Tandy Leather. They're metal stamp dies for different things. That one was, a wolf or a dog paw. The eagle. The walking bear. I have ordered another stamp with a bear paw and claws, but that won't be in until after I get, it'll show up here while I'm in West Virginia doing another pig roast for Dad. The jumping trout or salmon, whichever you want it to be, and the howling wolf. So those are going to be the ones, the big Alaska and those. And then the name Sean, S-E-A-N. I can go ahead and show you this, and I may have shown it to you. This is my prototype, and you see how I have the word Sean inside of Alaska. So it's Sean in Alaska. This one used the eagle, the howling wolf, the bear, and the jumping fish. So I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit since I've got 5 stamps I can actually use for this. And I may only put 3 on there. It seems like it's a little busy and cluttered. And then I ordered some 4" by 4" excuse me, 1/4" plywood squares. This is already glued down to it. I've still got a little more trimming or sanding to do here on the edge, if you can see that. And then the bottom of it, I'm going to glue some felt on. So when I get all of these done, then I'm going to package them up and ship them up to Sean. So let me reset the camera up here. I'm going to talk about the press a little bit, show it to you. I get this turned around. You can see this beast and not all of my junk. There. Alright, now this thing is heavy. It's at least 50 pounds. This is plate steel. The thing's made in China, but there is nothing cheap about this. Basically, the press itself is this unit right here. When it comes, the handles, you have to screw the handle in. No big deal there. And then this is the actual pressing plate. You use this kind of a cutting board to slide under here, and whatever your leather and stamp would go in here in this manner. I'm not stamping this one right now, I'm just showing you. In order to adjust the height of this, because you see with this acrylic stamp, if you can see this here, it sets quite a bit below. But if I take the metal stamp and put in here, it's actually not high enough. So in order to adjust this up, loosen these two nuts on top. The nuts on the bottom is what you would use to raise the bar. Kind of twist them in sync so you keep it fairly level. But before you start pressing anything, check your height at this point, which was 1 1/16, and on this side is 1 1/16, so that you keep it level. Now, words of wisdom, mistakes I made. If you raise your bar up, make sure that before you stamp anything, you put these nuts back down. And the same thing if you drop it down. Because if you don't, I don't know if it'll show up here like this or not. Put that like this. Now maybe it won't do anything, but now you see how the bar is moving here? It's not going to give you a good impression, and that's where I screwed up with my little one. It wasn't adjusted right, and it popped and kind of rolled a little bit, because this plate will roll like this when it's not tightened down. Now it doesn't have that roll. So yeah, it was a bit of a problem. So hopefully that will work. I'm going to get me a piece of scrap leather here in a minute. That'll be the first thing I try. So let me get my scrap leather, and we'll try the little one, and then I'll walk you through the process of stamping Sean's coaster, and then the front section of the holster for Andy. Excuse me, allergies are high here. So let me get all this set up, and I'll be back with you in a couple minutes. Okay, so I have this set up here now. I've dropped it down where it's level, 1 inch on each side. Top bolts are down. Get my leather nice and damp here. Let most of the water run off. Set this in here. What I do is I get it where I want it, and then just slide that tray in. So now I can tell that my die, or my stamp, is directly under this base plate. Pull it over, down, 1001, 1002, 1003. And let's see what we got. Well, we got the stamp, and the stamp's also stuck up there. Oh. But it did work. Let's see, there you go. It didn't break off again, so I'm going to consider that a success, because I need that one to do Sean's. Okay, now let me get everything set up to do the 4-inch squares, and I'll be back again in just a minute. I'm a happy camper right now. I got my little Alaska back. I have pre-cut some approximate 4x4 leather squares here. And these have been trimmed and matched to the pieces of plywood, because the pieces of plywood aren't exactly 4x4 either. So again, the process: wet it, set it up here and lay it out the way that I want it so that it will fit, because it is kind of tricky. This thing takes up most of the space. Okay, slide it back under here. 1001, 1002, 1003. I'm gonna give this one 1004. Okay, now if you look here, you see that it didn't quite stamp the back portion. That was a little bit too far back, so let me get this embedded back in place where it belongs, and put it right here. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. I'm a little leery to put a whole lot of excess pressure. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so there's the Alaska. Now I will be putting Sean, S-E-A-N, across here in a few minutes. The next thing I'm going to do is add a couple of other from my metal stamps. I'm going to use my bear up here in the top corner, and my jumping fish right down here. Like I said, I thought it got a little too busy with all the others, so I'm not going to quite do as much. All right, so now we're going to raise up again. Now, they do give you a big old wrench that you can do this with, but you know, it's loose enough for me that I can do it with my hands. Okay, and now let me do my measuring and make sure that I am even at 1 5/16 and 1, not quite 5/16. Okay. So again, every time you make an adjustment, make sure these things are back down in place before you get ready to stamp it. You see, I can run this in anyway. So I'm going to do it kind of like this. And 1001, 1002, 1003. Bingo. Now we have our bear and we have our fish. And now I got to get my letters. To do my Sean. So S-E-A-N. M-M-M-N. Okay. N was sideways. It looked like a Z. So again, kind of. So. And this is where if I screw something up, it's usually at this point. These things are supposed to have a little nubbin on it. To make sure I get it in the right alignment. S-E, over a little bit. Yeah, that ain't gonna work quite like that. Let's see if we do it this way. And, you know, this is not all science by any stretch of the imagination. This is Bill playing and having fun, trying to make something neat for a friend. And what I would like you guys to do here at the end of the video, leave me your thoughts on these, but also, because I am thinking about kind of doing this as a part-time hobby income as I get ready for retirement and into retirement. If I were to sell these, what do you guys think they would sell for? And remember, I'm talking about this one for Sean here right now, which is already backed on the plywood, and it's going to have felt on the back and everything. And if there's something you might be interested in having me do for you personally, send me a thing down in the comment. I've got to get into my profile and delete that post office box I had. I don't have that anymore. But you can send it either to my email or to leave me a comment down below, and I'll see what I can do. All right, so I think I've got this where I want it. Got back in here. One 1002, 1003. Ta-da! And there we have Sean. You can try and get the light where you can read it. Sean in Alaska. Sean is inside Alaska. The other one I used a different type of font letters, so this one takes up a little more room. That's why I had to kind of rearrange, but I kind of like this one. So that's how I do this. I got 3 more of these I've got to stamp up. So let me get those done, and then I'll come back to you and show you how I do the basic stamp on the holster. Alright, these are stamped now and they just need to dry. First one here on the left's got the bear in the top and the jumping fish. Top in the middle has the eagle in the corner, the howling wolf in the wolf print. This one has the howling wolf in the top and the salmon. This one is the wettest one of the bunch, has the eagle in the top and the bear on the bottom. And just to show that, the old lone moose makes mistakes. What's wrong with this one? Yep, well, I'll keep that one as a prototype and, make it up and use it for, a demo, if you will. Nothing goes to waste. All right, let me get everything set up for the holster stamp now. Okay, I'm back. Now this is the front of the holster. The blank, just like I made for his dad. I've already got my sewing holes punched on it, and this is rough cut. When I actually put it together, then I'll take it on the sander and smooth up all the edges and line everything up perfectly. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to put his initials right here, ABW, the Navy symbol, below that the crossed 45s, the bullet, and the American flag. And all of these, hopefully, I can stamp at one time, make it go that much quicker. And then on the back piece, I'm going to get a little thing that says made by, and I'll stamp that on the back piece and put my initials in that. So, hey, it's all fun, man. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. So let me wet this up, get everything set in place, and show you how quick and easy this can go. So, you got to make sure that I get everything in the right aspect. ABW. And kind of center it up where I want it here. Yeah, like I said, I met Andy through his dad. That's the Navy emblem. Yeah, will it focus, focus, focus? Nope. There it goes. It did. There we go. Yeah, trying. Oh well, you'll see it when it's stamped. And it was kind of interesting because his dad and I were having couple of beers one night, and he told me that Andy had gone to work for the same company, a different project, not the one I work on. But so, you know, one of the Saturdays when Andy, after he got off work, met us up at the Screaming Goat, which is kind of a local bar, you know, hangout in Bulverde, Spring Branch. And we had a couple beers, got to know him a little bit, and heck of a nice guy. He's like his dad, loves shooting. Now this holster, you know, is kind of a generic. It's made for large frame automatics. He doesn't have a 1911 like his dad and I do. He's got a Canik, which is a Turkish 9mm that should work in here, so I'm not going to be able to do a complete fit on it when I put it together. But over time, the holster will mold to the shape of the pistol. So let me get this stamped. Probably do it a couple of pulls just to make sure I get everything. Yeah. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Just a little more. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. And one. I'll move it around just a little bit there so I can get this front part and make sure I got that one good. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Okay, those need a little bit more because they were overpowered by these. Those are just a hair taller. So let me get these back in the groove. A still needs a little work. The B did good. The W did good. Get that A back in place. Hot diggity darn. Okay. So, now get this up here where you can see. You've got his initials, the ABW. The anchor for the Navy. He is a Naval Reserve corpsman. The cross 45s below that, the bullet to the right, and the American flag. And then I'll stamp the back one here in just a minute. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I'll be staining it up next, and then doing the rough cut or the rough sew, and then the final sew and all that. So you'll get to see it again in a couple. Okay, here is the back half of the holster. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my little one here that says, I think it says handmade by, and then put my initials in there, my BW. So let's run this one and see how she looks. Oh boy, I can't even begin to read that small print. Handcrafted by. Okay. Let's take my B. And my W. And kind of, it's going to overlap a little bit into the thing, but that's all right. Gonna have to lower this down again. For just those two, I don't really need to measure this. Ta-da! Handcrafted by BW. So, let these dry up, and you'll see them again here in another video as I progress. So, kind of wrap this up. What do I think of this VEVOR press here? I'll give it 2 thumbs up. I've stamped a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff you might have already seen on, like I said, Facebook or Instagram. It's big, it's heavy, it's manual, it's slow, it's not a high-pressured machine. And I'll put in a screenshot from Amazon. The one that I got was the one that's 260 by 150 millimeters for $219.61 when I bought it. And I'll put that link down below. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with it. Other than having to lug it around and move it around, because right now my shop out in the back still doesn't have air conditioning, but I'll get that fixed when I come back from West Virginia. So, this is just some of the projects I'm working on. I will keep adding to my, my playlist of Leathercraft work. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, please give me, the thumbs up, the like, hit the subscribe button. I just hit 1,600 subscribers. I know for the last year or so I haven't been very regular, and with all the stuff going on with Mom and Dad and, Cameron and his family and Travis situation, so I'm getting back into gear again. So hopefully that channel will start growing, but nonetheless, hey, it's still fun. I don't care. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Please stay tuned, because there's going to be several more coming up. May not be for a couple weeks, because like I said, I got to go to West Virginia, do another pig roast for Dad. But I'm going to try and get at least one more done from up there. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. Getting back in gear. This is Lone Moose out for now. I'll see you when I see you on the next one, folks.